Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. Um, I do this series, 52 Weeks of Angel Connection. This was a request from Spirit to get me comfortable and doing more on YouTube. YouTube still kind of mystifies me, but it's a good exercise to do this, and so I'm happy to do it. All right, so each week of 2020, I set out to feature a different Archangel, Ascended Master, or other spiritual being. And in this series, I talk with, about, to these presences. And if they want to deliver a message to everyone, then I certainly make myself available for that. But the purpose is to educate and highlight. We've got these beings around us all the time. All the time. We just have to reach out. We just have to work with them. We need to ask for their support, ask for their help. They can't swoop in and intervene for us. Although, that happens occasionally, but those are truly miracles. But for the most part, they have to wait for our invitation because our free will is supreme. So we need to be allowed to learn our lessons. We need to be allowed to make choices and learn from the consequences of those choices, either good or bad. However, when we ask and when we invite them to work with us, then our prayers are answered. Things can go very well for us. Things can go more smoothly. We can receive insight, clarity, and responses. But we do have to ask. So today I am going to be focusing on Mary Magdalene, who is an Ascended Master who's been working with me quite a bit. She started making her presence known in a very real way to me about 4 or 5 years ago. I wasn't sure who this new guide was, but it turns out it was her. And she had asked to use my voice. And once I checked her out and felt like I could trust her, then I did allow her to use my voice. And her energy is unmistakable, absolutely unmistakable. Mary Magdalene is kind of a controversial figure. In the Bible, she was depicted as a prostitute. They didn't really come out and say that she was, but insinuated that. And over the centuries of the church, the leaders of the church have more or less conspired against her to perpetuate this myth. But it is just that, it's a myth. Mary was one of Jesus's closest disciples. And yes, she was a disciple. There are many books written about her that tell all about her work that she did with Jesus. I have seen Mary Magdalene in QHHT sessions. There have been clients who go to a lifetime with Jesus. They go back to the time when he was active and working and teaching. And a few of them have described seeing Mary Magdalene on the picture as well. One in particular described the wedding, the marriage of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. And we call her Mary Magdalene because she came from the Magdala lineage and region. So they call her the Magdalene. She married from Magdalene, Mary from Magdala. But that is not, Magdalene is not her last name. It refers to where she comes from. So, yes, Mary was married to to Jesus. I'm so sorry. Was married to Jesus. And I've heard many accounts of that wedding, and I've seen that in a QHHT session. There is more information about Mary out there everywhere. She's pretty well known. She is a highly ascended being. Of course, being an ascended master, she helps all of humanity. She is a taskmaster, I will tell you that. And in another QHHT session, the client went to a lifetime where she was the daughter of Mary Magdalene, and Magdalene was teaching in a mystery school. And I've heard this from several different sources, but it was interesting to have the client go there firsthand. She didn't know anything about Magdalene, didn't know anything about the mystery schools that were known. So it was all new information for her, and for me, it was a wealth of great information that Magdalene was teaching things about energy. She was teaching about astral projection. She was teaching about healing, so many different things. And then I had another client who had a lifetime where she met Magdalene and knew that there was something very special about this woman. And she was overcome from emotion because in one scene of her session, she saw Magdalene in a marketplace, and Magdalene stopped what she was doing. She had a crowd around her talking and teaching, stopped what she was doing and beckoned this woman over and gave her a blessing. And she said it felt like she was the only focus of Magdalene, and it was so transformative. Even though there were lots of people gathered around listening to Magdalene teach, that this client felt her sole focus, and it was so transformative. That this client had a background of being orphaned, being left behind by her parents who went to go help in another community, helping a colony of lepers. And her parents did not return. And so she was taken in by some other people, some young people who were learning to live on the streets and learning to adapt. And so she was learning to adapt. And that's when she encountered Magdalene. And it was, like I said, it was really magical. That is actually here on YouTube. So you can find it on my YouTube station. If you're listening now, then just look at the other videos, the QHHT connection videos. All right, so Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, like I said, quite the taskmaster. She will show up for people who are ready, who have done their inner work, who have done their spiritual work, and who have done enough seeking to take their learning to the next level. She often comes in and she says, what are you waiting for? You know what to do. You know what to avoid. You need to be on the right path. You need to stop playing around and get to work. She can be stern with people who are just unsure, people who have done a lot of study and need to take things to the next level. And she'll give them practical advice as well for what to do. Usually it's aligning their energy. Usually it's meditating more. Usually it's just shutting up long enough to let her speak with them. And sometimes it's just guiding them to go certain places where they need to find more pieces of the puzzle. So Magdalene is very loving. She has a very strong feminine presence, but it's not harsh or overwhelming. You can recognize her by someone who very gently kicks your butt and will help you understand what your next steps are. Let me see if there's anything that she would like to add. All right, here she comes. You know what to do. You're watching this video and it is stirring certain feelings and emotions within you. You know I am present. You know the stories about me are mixed. Learn your own discernment to tell the truth. There's much more to my energy and much more to my work with Jesus than anyone present may understand. Many are waking up, though. If you read certain texts, you'll find out that I have my own gospel that I tell about my experiences with Jesus. I will come in with your dreams. If you ask and invite me in, I can come in and work with you in dreams. Make sure that you are protecting yourself. Make sure that you are setting the proper intention. Make sure that you're clearing your mind and your space and surrounding yourself with protective energy and light, as well as calling in protective angels. And I will come and instruct you in your dream state. You will recognize me. My color is a soft, dark blue, much like the walls that you see behind you, behind the channel, behind me. Much like that. You will recognize that color, and that is indicative of me. You will feel my strength as well. You will feel a certain warmth going through your veins, and that is one of my signs. You'll also feel a stirring in your throat. And this is a signal that it is time to speak out. It is time to speak up. It is time to speak your truth. When we speak our truth, we are connected firmly to our innate wisdom and our innate knowing. So it's time to speak up and speak your truth. All of this I ask you to do with great love and in service to humanity. By learning, developing, and growing, you serve all. So I want to encourage you in that fashion. You are on the edge of a great awakening. It's time to take the leap. It's time to jump into the void and trust that we have you. It's time to raise your vibration to the point where you can trust to jump. It is perfectly safe to do so. Thank you for this opportunity to serve. Thank you for this opportunity to communicate and teach. As always, God is with you. All right. Honestly, that's the softest I've seen her in a long time. But I could feel the urgency behind her words. I don't know if you could feel her urgency. She's usually quite a bit more strict in her delivery. So that was quite soft for her. But still wanting to make sure that we all understand our role here and know that we can tap into this innate intelligence anytime we wish, and doing so with great love, but always with protection as well. All right, well, that's it for this week. If you would like to help me decide who to bring in for next week and the week after, etc., all the way through the end of this year, you can join our Facebook group, which is Radiate You, as in you, University. And that is a private Facebook group. It is a subscription-based group. On this group, we provide meditations, instructions, replays of all of our online classes. I've got some more online classes coming up that I will be populating on that group. It's a place to learn and share and grow. Think of it like a premium subscription, a premium channel on a podcast, such as the Radiate Wellness Podcast, which you can also listen to here on YouTube as well as on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify. So if you would like to join the conversation, take some classes, and do all of that, you can join the Radiate You Facebook group, and you can sign up for that. There is a link on that Radiate Wellness group, Radiate You group. When you click to join, you'll be given a link to sign up. All right, well, that's it for now. If you'd like to schedule a private session with me, you can leave a comment. You can reach me on Angels Guidance with Christy Clemens Hoffman on Facebook. That's my business page, as well as Radiate Wellness LLC. That's my other business page. All right, lots of ways to connect and grow. All right, see you next week. Bye.